Hello. As a core exercise specialist, I often get asked, what is the best core exercise? What is the core exercise I should be doing to strengthen my back? What is the correct core exercise? So if you are the person who is asking those questions, this is awesome. You are already curious. You're thinking of your body. And you hear all that advice that's out there, strengthen your core for this and that, strengthen your core for this and that. And it's good that you have a purpose behind it. So these are the questions that I often get asked from my clients who are usually females, 40 plus. That's who I work with. These are all great questions. I come from the perspective that one size does not fit all. And in this video, I'm not going to tell you do XYZ to benefit from this core strengthening program. But hear me out with just a few thoughts on this topic. So when I work with the clients, I definitely do an assessment of how they're moving, breathing, what's their static alignment is, static posture. So what is their core strategy? And then from that, we create a strategic plan with intention based on what areas of their body perhaps might be weaker and which ones might be really strong. And that relates to the core as well. So let me give you a few examples. So the angle of a rib cage, it can be too wide or it can be too narrow. So this is where I look and this is where I assess movement. So based on that, we might target internal obliques or external obliques. Or very common strategy that my female clients usually use is draw the belly in toward the spine. So this activates the mid transverse abdominis muscle, so those deep core muscles, and perhaps pushes the belly out. And this is just, again, creates some imbalancing between the lower, middle, and upper transverse abdominis muscles, which are core setting muscles all the way around it. So based on the assessment, another strategy I often see in my clients is clenching the butt. So clenching the butt as their core strategy as they stand, sit, or do some other movements. And then again, just kind of creates this more of an isolated or more focused approach on one area at the sake of the entire team. And I always bring the deep core team into action and see, okay, where the imbalances are, where the weakness, where the strength, and what can we do to create this integrated and balanced approach of the deep core musculature, which bring the best results. And really the results we're looking for is to minimize pressure on the pelvic floor, minimize pressure on the back, minimize pressure on the abdominals. And this is one of the important functions of the balanced integrated core. And there are, of course, many other ones. So hopefully this is not too confusing for you, but this is just some food for thought. One size does not fit all. And when I work in my private practice, I am blessed, so to speak, to work with one body at a time. So that gives me a lot more understanding of what happens in that body that's in front of me. However, I'm going to leave you with some general rules of thumb, so to speak, so that you can start paying attention if you use those core strategies and perhaps they're not the best ones or not the integrated and balanced ones. That's why they're not the best. So we're gonna go on the floor. You can do it with me or just kind of watch and then try to do it. And we're gonna go from the side to the back. All right, so If you are doing a crunch, and this is one of the most common core exercises that I hear and see pretty much everywhere, and it is a huge debate about the crunches, but we're not going to go there. Let's say that you are doing a crunch, and if you put your hand on your belly here, your head lifts off the floor, and your shoulders lift off the floor, and if you feel your belly is pushing out, so kind of doming into your hand, that's exactly what we don't want to see happening. And that just gives us a good information that some other parts of the core team not doing what they're supposed to do. And again, if you put your hand on the belly, so another strategy I can see here on the crunch. So when people lift the head up and the shoulders up, so they also tuck the pelvis and squeeze the booty. And again, you might feel in your hand or see here, kind of low for breath. That's that doming, that pushing on the linear elbow, which is in the middle. And instead of bringing those left and right sides together and kind of creating that knitting, tightening, it's actually pushing out. So again, now without my hands, and you can definitely feel it in your body if I'm doing the crunch. And my abdominals are pushing out toward the ceiling instead of drawing down and in towards the floor. That just gives us an understanding that your deep core team is not working in a good coordination like a team. So, what is the best core strategy? It really depends. It depends on your intention. It depends on what your body is presenting at this time. And it also depends on your goals. If you want to learn more, feel free to contact me. And I also have a few online courses. And yes, enjoy.